Formula 1 returns to the circuit Paul Ricard in France in Le Castellet for round 9 of the 2019 season for the French Grand Prix. And the track, which albeit not a wild card in terms of the point system used, threw up a major spanner in the works for all of the major players last season, with either their top drivers retiring from the Grand Prix or finishing lower down the order than they normally would. And that would allow, for one point of the race, both of the Saubers of Charles Leclerc and Adrian Sutil to lead 1-2 in what would be Sauber's final French Grand Prix in their final season. However, all those teams were expecting a much smoother run this time out. However, though, with how close the cars are proving to be so far, especially with the championship fight between three teams, there could be a six-way fight for pole and victory. Red Bull, though, receiving their fair share of media attention, with their home favourite Pierre Gasly piloting the RB15, as he still looks for his first podium of his career, and also Verstappen also looking for a podium this time out as well, although the back straight though could harm their chances of that. Alfa Romeo were also looking to build off what the previous team Sauber managed to do here last season, running 1-2. Also Josh Cheer was looking to get back into the string of things after retiring last time out at the Spanish Grand Prix with a battery failure. Talking of the Ferraris though, Sebastian Vettel is also rumoured to be leaving Ferrari at the end of the season as a five-time champion suffered unbelievable unreliability, something that you've not become accustomed to with how reliable the 2019 cars usually tend to be. Williams though was looking strong as ever and bulletproof throughout practice, however not as fast as they have been shown to be in the past few races. The British Alpha didn't have any upgrades for this weekend, and it's starting to show with Kubica only managing a best of 5th place in the short runs in practice 3. Renault also receiving their fair share of media attention. They've got their also second home favourite of Jean-Eric Verne, also with all the high ups from Renault here, they put a lot of pressure on themselves to perform at their home Grand Prix. McLaren also brings some much needed upgrades, as the cars that often ran well in races but haven't quite got the pace in qualifying, which often cripples what would be otherwise be good results, with Matsushita and Haryanto rarely featuring in the top 12, let alone getting into Q3. Alex Albon will unfortunately line up in last place in qualifying in P20, and he shares the back row of the grid with Lance Stroll in the Haas. His teammate Colin Harder wouldn't go much further, starting from P18, and a dismal lack from Verne in the Renault sees the 2017 champion start from only P17. Another shocker though will be Lewis Hamilton, who couldn't get to grips with his car in first qualifying and he gets knocked out. The Kakari starting lead of the Toro Rossos from 15th. Another big name dropping out early on, with Robert Kubica could only manage 14th place in the BMW Williams and shares row 7 with the lead Renault of Hulkenberg. Being all Alfa Romeo row 6, starting from inside the points places and with 3 choice of tyres for Josh Chiro, who once again gets bettered in qualifying by teammate Giovinazzi. Charles Leclerc starts from inside the top 10 just about from P10, Lando Norris with a good qualifying starts on 9th. His teammate Haryanto starts from P8 and shares row 4 with championship leader Mick Schumacher in the lead of the Williams. Mika Kobayashi starts from P6 as the leader of the Toyota, showing that the cars do have good pace. Sebastian Vettel starting lead Ferrari from P5. George Russell starts higher than what he normally does, starting from 4th place, and he shares that row with Pierre Gasly, one of the home favourites in the Red Bull. Teammate Max Verstappen would narrowly miss out on pole by 0.2 of a second, leaving honours for pole to go to Danica Kvyat. He's got a real chance to get himself now back into the title fight. Hey guys, Tara here. Welcome back to the UniONE career. This time it's the French Grand Prix, and it caused a lot of mayhem last season in terms of the championship. So you never know what's going to happen again this year. But here we've got Mick Schumacher starting from P7, quite a bit further down than where he would like to be. So he's got a lot of work to do in the race. He wants to get back to his traditional winning ways. Also, George Russell starting from P4, so he's a bit higher than where he traditionally starts in 6th or 7th. So could he be on for his first win of the season, which he got denied, I think, twice now so far. Also, then we got Charles Leclerc, one of the kind of home favourites for since he's from Monaco. I think it's close enough since we've got Monaco Grand Prix later on as well in the season. Onto the formation lap. And it looks like everyone's got away actually perfectly fine from the grid, so it is kind of difficult now to stall these cars, but it's still possible. Danica Kvyat though, on pole position, he's got the 2 Rebels right up behind him, you know how feisty Verstappen is, but the Rebel just doesn't seem to have the straight line speed in race conditions anyway. Qualifying the car more than enough makes up for that deficit, it seems. Also, Sebastian Vettel starting from P5. He absolutely needs a good race, just for morale, just for anything. His car worked in qualifying, but can he go further and actually get his first podium of 2019? Also, Lewis Hamilton, way down the order, out in Q1 in the Toyota, and his teammate Hamilton's teammate Kobayashi, 10 places further up, so there is pace in the pink cars, and he's going to have to use all of it. He wants to lessen the damage since Mick Schumacher starting in near enough a normal place, so he also went down to Kvyat on pole as well, so the other two Drivers' Championship contenders. And we're starting from P12 on the set of the medium tyres, so we're going to be looking to go along in the race pretty much as all the cars that started outside the top 10 will be doing, so McLaren might actually want to start outside the top 10 for once and not bring the upgrades to this race, but that's just how things go. And then coming to the 5 red lights for the start of the French Grand Prix. Lights out and away go after a very long hold. There's a brilliant start there for Kvyat, and then Verstappen was just caught napping there. Didn't go nowhere off the line. Kvyat's well clear now into turn 1. Actually being chased out by his teammate Pierre Gasly. Trying to go up the inside line side by side between the two Red Bulls. Now we're going side by side actually with one of the runners there. Jean-Yves Vergne had a good start from the back row of the grid. Yeah, everyone's just trying to force the way through. They're right behind the back now. Then one of the Taurus there of Nico Kari, it looks like. He does manage to get a good start and get ahead of us as well. She's now going to the outside line of the Renault as well, going to try and squeeze it side by side, but then we've got Kubica side by side now with us, but we're just going to let Robert go because we're not fighting a Williams BMW. I mean, I would like to be, but that's just at this point in the season, that's just not where the Alpha's up to. It is up with the McLarens and the Renaults and all that. And you're going to go Kubica now again great match. The Taurus with some good speed as well. We must have the Honda engine turned up now to try and pass the Renault there. Obviously, going to squeeze them all the way over to the inside line. Going to go now then into the corner. There's going to be side by side between the two of them. And get Kari trying to force his way through on the Renault actually of Hulkenberg, that is. Trying to go around the outside line and got the racing line. And he actually managed to get some good, really nice move there actually from Nico Kari. Now he's going to try and look at it. He's going to try and bring Kubica with him. Oh, never mind. My footage disappeared. Alright. Well, I'll get back to that in a minute, but yeah, I think there's only a few laps further on. We're now going side by side then with the Renault of Hulkenberg as we've got Kubica doing battle there with the Taurus and then of Nico Kari. We've managed to pass the Renault into the corner, but Kubica has not managed to make a move stick there on the Taurus. So yeah, going back to the Singapore Grand Prix, where I was on my second pit stop and the footage just disappeared. Well, we're on like, I think lap 3 now, and my footage has disappeared again from converting the video into it being here right now. So that makes no sense, but well, I don't think much really happened. I mean, you only missed like a lap and a half, so a lot can't have happened in that surely. So, oh well, that it is what it is. But we've still got Kubica here, right to behind the back then of Nico Kari, and try and go to the outside line. Actually, DRS isn't actually available yet, so maybe it wasn't as maybe I'm not missing as much as I thought it was, because DRS it has to be lap 2, so. Must have just been that corner bit, that the top sector, half lap that got caught out. But either way, a bit of it's missing, and I don't know why, but oh well, nothing you can do about it now. We're still Kubica going side by side. The Taurus going to try hiding around the outside line there. Kari's some really good bravery. I mean, he's in what? He's like, when he's his rookie season, it's his first full season. But he's like his 9th race of this season, so he's done about a few others before, so like his 10th or 11th race. But some amazing bravery in what is honestly. Well, it's one of the worst cars. I mean, I think the Haas is a bit worse, honestly. But yeah, Kari, if you can try and keep it to one of, if not the best car of the grid right now, the BMW Williams. And some great pace from the Finn, it seems. As he comes now then round the final corner, he's going to have the DRS, is he? Do we have DRS yet? I think they're definitely probably before the start of the line, so he won't have it this time either, so I think that's going to be good news there for Kubica. He can be able to pull away from that Taurus or Honda. Actually, he has to go defensive. The Kari's got the edge of turn up again, it seems like, trying to go around the outside line. Kari, he's absolutely just going for it. I mean, when you're in Taurus, and we know how difficult it is to get a seat at Red Bull these days, and with how short of time the drivers seem to spend at the team anyway. I mean, when you've got the TV time, you've got to do absolutely everything to prove yourself to Helmut Marko and to the Red Bull team of why you should be promoted and partner either Verstappen or Gasly, whoever ends up being there, or if neither of them next season, you never know what's going to happen. And it's gone in, oh, world of understeer, the Dartier is not really doing me too good there. And actually, Kari's actually going to come back now at the Williams. Why is this speed from Kari? Has he gone like 1-1 wings or something on the centre? He's got amazing straight line speed in that Taurus. So Taro haven't got any upgrades for this weekend. They haven't really had anything since China. And that was like, what, 4 races ago or something like that. So he's just willing that car further up the grid than what it definitely should be. But Kubica, that's not going to be in Kubica's game plan, being re-overtaken by a Toro Rosso. And I actually looked what tyres the Toro Rosso's on. If it's on soft, then it makes sense. Actually, no, they're both on medium tyres. They're both on the exact same compound of tyre, and somehow Kari's doing an absolute madness. But either with them two fighting, that's allowing me to get right onto the back now of my former teammate, who's made a place from the start, but like I said, being stuck behind one of the slowest cars on the grid is not in the game plan. I mean, it's in our game plan, well, sort of, because it's a car that we should be fighting, at least anyway, in the midfield. And now we're going to have the DRS though on the back of the, you can see the Williams are pulling away, so that Bindley power coming into clutch now. Funky Bitzer, he's going to try and make a move on Kari, he's going to make it stick into the corner, following through. But Kari defends well to the inside line, so he knows, honestly, fighting a Williams is not really in what Kari needs to be doing this afternoon, although that was actually for a points place though, so he did try and fight, but ultimately the Williams, it should be ahead of anyway. There is cars further up, like the McLarens and that there are the cars that we're fighting, so if he can just stick behind Kubica, me and Kari, maybe Kubica hopefully can just like drag us along to catch up to those cars in front, which we definitely need to be fighting. Once again though, for that left-hander we get an absolutely horrific run once again. But we've got the DRS though, so we've got the maximum speed available, but here comes that Toyota straight line speed, that good engine power. Going out the lane to go, I'm going to do the same thing as Kari with Kubica, I'm just going to let Hamilton go, because Hamilton is not someone at all that I'm fighting in this Grand Prix. Like I said, with Kubica, I'd love to be fighting the Toyotas on that cool pace, but there you go, Hamilton has loves to be fighting, they can try and make a move up the inside line here. Nico Kari coming to the corner, side by side still with the fins, trying to make that side line, but this is ultimately, there is not the downforce required or available really on that Toro Rosso to hold it there around the outside line side by side with the 2008 Drivers' Champion. He's right up behind the back of the driver who could well have been the 2008 Drivers' Champion. I mean, if BMW kept the development of that car, which honestly they should have done, they should have gone for the title in 2008, because facing what happened in 2009, well, we can say anything in hindsight, but when you're leading the championship, you've got a good car, you've had a good car for that first half of the season, you don't just stop developing it and go for another year when that's not a given, you go with what you've got now, you live for the now. And we get a brilliant run on Kari though out of the corner, so we get some dirty traction there on the fin, and we're going to put it out side by side still with Kari just edging when he got to those. He's definitely running a low race headed out into the first corner, and he manages to outbrake us. So some really good defensive skills there from Nico Kari. And in all of that, I think Hamilton's actually made the move to stick there on Robbie Kubica when I was focusing more on the front wing then of Nico Kari. But there was some brilliant straight line speed in that Toro Rosso, so either he's running really heavy on fuel like I do, so he can run a bit of engine power later on in the race, try and gain back some time then, or he's running super low drag, which I mean he's keeping with the confidence. So I don't know what it is. It might be a compromise. It might just be a little bit of both. Either we've got Kubica there in the DRS now, trying to cut back now, then at Lewis Hamilton, coming up now into the chicane. We're going to go around the outside line, to go the long way around here. Hamilton defends to the inside line. Kubica side by side. Kubica keeps it, gives him the inside line for the next corner. Hamilton though on the racing line. The two of them still keeping it side by side. These two cars are so evenly matched in terms of straight line speed, at least anyway. So here goes Kari getting a double toe. Side by side, go 3 wide now with Kubica and Hamilton still getting tears side by side. And Kari though just gets pinched in the apex. Well, absolute balls of steel for Nico Kari in the Toro Rosso, sticking it up the inside line of two of the best cars on the grid, with two of the drivers going for this year's Drivers' Championship as well. Honestly, Red Bull promote this man. He's showing in this one race the ultimate racecraft that like Verstappen, he's showing the same racecraft as what Verstappen can do. And he's in a much worse car than what Verstappen's in. So Kari, you've got this TV time, he's making definite use of it, great use of it honestly. But Hamilton keeps himself in front of Kubica and they spread out now a little bit. And then Kari though still keeping himself right easily in touch with the car in front of him now into turn 1 and turn 2. Everything there remains pretty much the same. But now then, we're on to lap 7 and we're still stuck behind the back now of Kari, who ultimately, after that massive assault on the cars in front of him, has started to drop off the pace a little bit from the cars in front. Which honestly, that's to be expected anyway. You can't honestly expect a Toro Rosso to keep up with the Williams and a Toyota for long, at least at this point in the season, where the Alfa and the Toro Rosso are a lot worse cars than the Williams and the Toyota. But now we've got the DRS car, it hasn't, now it should be an easy move here on the fin, and we make the move stick. Honestly, I think Kari's definitely run out of higher engine modes, or at least for now anyway. It might just be a fuel saving phase, because he must have burned a lot of fuel in that early on. And I think I found the other track that we used to go to, Magny Cours. I went that wide there through turn 2. And now I'm up into P10. So some people must have come into the pits then, because no way should I be in 10th place legitimately. Although I say legitimately, if all these cars coming in now are going to have to stop now, which they are, we're looking here now then to Mick Schumacher, who's behind the Ferrari there of Sebastian Vettel. So yeah, all these guys having to make their stops now. Depends what tyre. If they go to a set of hard tyres, then yeah, they can go to it. But if they go to a set of mediums, then they would definitely have to stop again before the end of the race. There's no way a set of mediums from now, on like lap 7 or 8, will go to the end of the race. It's going to be a set of medium tyres then for Schumi, so Williams look like they're going for a 2-stop in this race. So either they don't fancy the hard tyres or they're not that confident about their tyre wear. Could be either of those two situations, but and Vettel in front, I think I saw that was on hard tyres, so Ferrari and Vettel then trying to go to the end of the race. Both on their set of tyres and both actually with the reliability of their car, trying to get themselves to the end of the race. And I'm even a bit further on, still looking here at the Williams of Mick Schumacher. Actually managed to make a move on a Ferrari, or was that could be Charles Leclerc, I don't actually know. Either way, though, in front of that Ferrari, and they've got the McLaren there of Norris, who's in for a set of hard tyres going to the end of the race. You've got side by side there up in front, one of the Hasses and the other Taurus of Alex Albon, I think has just been overtaken there by the Haas. Either way, the Haas has got in front or stayed in front of the Taurus, so going to go super defensive there to the championship leader now, Mick Schumacher, with the Ferrari there right behind the back of both of them as well. And Schumi, his patience have got better. I wouldn't say they're still great at getting through traffic, especially when it comes to me anyway, although that would be... It's a bit more personal when it comes up to try and lap me anyway, or lap me overtake me, which I hope I'm not getting lapped. I haven't been lapped yet this season anyway, but you know what I mean, when you're trying to make your way back through the slower car. That's going to try and go 3 wide now. He's going to take the Ferrari there with him of Charles Leclerc, I think that is. We've got Albon who moves aggressively in front there of Mick Schumacher. He goes to the dive from the inside line there from the Ferrari, going to make it stick side by side. You know, to keep side of the Taurus there. Alex Albon getting absolutely, we've seen that Albon's got great defensive skills as well. And all that, the Ferraris managed to make the move there on Mick Schumacher. Schumi got a bit flustered there into the corner. Definitely wasn't expecting the Taurus to fight, but these two are fighting for position though. And actually got Charles Leclerc on the set of soft tyres, so Leclerc getting very, very aggressive here in this race. Going to try and make a move for the inside line here, the Taurus, but Albon though defends brilliantly there, the inside line. Obviously, both Taurusos, I mean, the car's definitely not there for them, but they've got some great racecraft, the two of them. Albeit more in the terms of defence, but you need good defensive skills anyway. And we've seen Kari with a good attack, so if we could just see a bit more of that from Albon, then they could definitely be in hot contention for maybe even both of them being at Red Bull for 2020. You never know what's going to happen, because there's no way they're going to want to let these two youngsters be snapped up by another team by not promoting them. Now then, Leclerc with the DRS though on the back of Alex Albon, but Albon again also has the DRS on the back of the Haas in front of him. And coming down then into turn 1, Albon once again very defensive to the inside line, blocked off the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. That has absolutely nowhere to go. And then you actually got one of the runners coming into things now as well. Which actually I don't know what that means, one that is, but now Leclerc side by side still with Albon now into the corner, going to try and go in the outside line. A brilliant move there from the Monarch, as if he can pull it off side by side still with Alex Albon, and Albon dives it back up the inside line. He's not giving this up without a fight. You know, honestly, there is pride at stake here between the teams. I mean, Taurus are their Italian team, Ferrari, you know, the main Italian team as it is at the moment. But now that he's made the move stick, now Albon though, can he try and come back now then at the Ferrari? You can turn that Honda engine up. And you've still got Mick Schumacher right behind the back of him now as well, coming into the chicane. He's not close to make a move, so Ferrari engine turned up is definitely better than a Honda engine turned up. Then they've got the BMW engines, Williams right up behind the back of them, which is probably the fastest thing in a straight line, along with the Toyota and that. Now we're going to try and go in the outside line here of the Haas, which also is no slouch in terms of straight line speed. And try and hold it around the outside line into the left-hander. Brilliant move from Charles Leclerc. Absolutely no fear in this man either. I mean, that's why he earned a promotion to Ferrari after only one season, albeit he did get quite a few podiums in what was a Sauber car, but the Sauber car was actually pretty damn good last year, so definitely warranting his promotion, of course, when he won the first race of the season as well. But now then, on to lap 12. We're currently in P3, and that's because we haven't stopped yet, and it's getting quite a bit darker actually. And then you've got a few cars coming in. We've got Kubica and actually Lewis Hamilton coming in, but it's actually getting a lot cloudier now than what it was 5-6 laps ago. So is it actually going to start raining? I mean, it could just be getting cloudy, but the team haven't called us in, and they haven't called Gio in either, I don't think, because here we come now to lead the race now. We definitely now lead the French Grand Prix, and behind us is Gio. Actually, Gio stayed out along with someone else there, I think, behind as well. Actually, no, that's the Mercedes, and they've all made their stops. So once again, for the second year in a row, it's an Alfa Romeo Sauber, because this is still what they're in Sauber's car. It's the team leads 1-2 with the French Grand Prix. Something about this track just really plays to our cars, it seems. Gio though, I mean, do our team actually think it's going to start raining? Because they're leaving us out here, so I mean, we're going to be losing time to Kubica and Hamilton, but they're not cars that I'm fighting anyway, honestly. So I'm guessing our team, to leave me and Gio out here as well, our team definitely have some kind of game plan, honestly. Surely they must think it's going to start raining soon.
So then we'll stay here with plan A, and we'll come in when it starts raining.
That's exactly what the thing is going to do then. My team are convinced that it's going to start raining soon anyway, within the life of these tyres. But so leaving me and Gio, Alfa Romeo were the only team it seems to be convinced that it's going to start raining soon. So I mean, we might as well go for a risk. We're a midfield team. We're in 6th place in the standings currently, so it's honestly, it's all or nothing really. Now then, Giovinazzi, what they're going to do with Giovinazzi? Is he going to stay out taking a wide line? He's gone. No, he's going to pit lane. I thought he'd just gone straight on into a Narnia then, but no, he's going for the corner. For the pit. So Alfa Romeo, they're splitting their strategy. I mean, honestly, that is the fair play, honestly, Alfa Romeo. Because they're leaving me out. I'm the one in the lead. The splitting strategy, because if it works one way, we still got Gio, who is still fairly close to me, so he can still definitely be on for points in this race. And it's going to be the hard tyres as it is for the speedy runners to go then to the end of the Grand Prix, unless my team are right and it starts raining. Because Kubica and Hamilton, they could have easily stayed out a few more laps. So they clearly, Williams and Toyota, think that it's not actually going to rain in this race. But on to lap 15, only a few laps later on, it is actually now raining. Alfa Romeo have made the call of the century, it seems, and now they've given me the lead of the Grand Prix. I'm genuinely leading this race now. I mean, if it keeps raining like this, then surely you're going to have to come in for intermediate tyres soon. Because, well, I'm going to have to make a tyre stop at some point anyway, so I need to hope that it starts raining a little bit more so I can come in for the intermediate tyres. And then we get a strategy change. We get the intermediate tyres. Alfa Romeo have strategied me into the lead now of the French Grand Prix. Come on, team. Do not mess up this pit stop. Do not mess up this pit stop. This needs to be, honestly, the best pit stop, Alfa Romeo, that you have ever given anyone. Even when you were Sauber. I mean, pit stops, they've not really been a problem for anyone, really. And you got the Merc, you got the Red Bull pick, you got the Ferrari pick. Everyone's coming in for intermediate tyres. They've realised now that they've realised because there's water falling from the sky. But yeah, it's raining. They've definitely realised that now. And now we get a brilliant pit stop there. That is, thank you, Alfa Romeo. That is exactly what I needed right now. And we've got a pretty good gap as well over the Mercedes, whichever Mercedes that is. I didn't quite see which one it was. But now then, we've got Charles Leclerc and Pierre Gasly, who have both decided to stick it out for another lap. So clearly, either they didn't want a double stack. Let me show you, they must think then that Red Bull and Ferrari, they must think that trundling around for another lap on the complete wrong tyres would lose them less time than QB. I mean, it depends how close they were to their teammates anyway. So yeah, it depends where they were. But we got Gasly though. I think they're actually leading the Grand Prix actually. So one of the home favourites at least gets a lap at the top of the timing sheets anyway. Although I'm pretty sure he'd rather have been in the pit lane right now and on a set of the intermediate tyres, because that is going so slowly. That is the slowest I think I've ever seen a Red Bull move. And that is in all of the years they've competed as well. Because here we are in what is P3 at the minute, but I think what is actually, well, if they actually come in, going to be the lead of the race. Then we've got George Russell, who's up now into P2, so he's doing well in the Merc. Ahead then of Max Verstappen then in the Red Bull. And then we've got the throw then of the other Ferrari there, which is, of course, Sebastian Vettel. And then we have Daniel Kvyat, who's way down the order now, of course, having to double stack behind his teammate. So Mercedes chose to double stack, thinking that he'd lose less time that way. And then we have Mick Schumacher, and then followed then by Lewis Hamilton, who could have said that he could have been leading the Grand Prix right now. But somehow he's ahead of his teammate Kobayashi. I don't know how that's happened, but it has. And then we have Robert Kubica in the Williams, who managed to make a move there on one of the Renaults. So the Renaults, I think they just had the points. Oh, Jean-Luc Verne. What is it with the French people and not coming into the pits? I mean, Leclerc doesn't exactly count, but what is it with the near enough French people not coming into the pits? So they have something against the intermediate tyres, because all three of them haven't come in. I mean, did they honestly think that Verne could stay out for another lap? I mean, he's a world champion. If you give him a car on the wrong tyres, he's not going to be able to do anything with that. And he's got Harrianto right behind the back of him, and thankfully for Verne. I'm sure Verne's going to have a few stern words on the team radio about that strategy call, especially since all the top Renault personnel are here at this race, and for some reason they decided to leave out their number one driver. Because look, Hulk's on the set of Inters, why didn't they just double stack the Renaults? That has cost Verne so much time. And then we have Alex Albon on a set of intermediate tyres and a bit of a no man saying that. He's got the Hasse of Colin Herta riding behind him. I think we had a wet start in Japan, but Colin Herta he's getting used to the wet weather. We had any moisture last season besides until the last race, so definitely had a lot more rain. We've had like 100% more rain than what we did last year. And we got Verne down in last place. Yeah, there's going to be stern words in the debrief at Renault after this race. A bit further on, looking now, one of the Toro Rossos here, I think that's Alex Albon, is now caught up actually to our teammate Giovinazzi. He goes very defensive there to the inside line. We've got Albon trying to go around the outside line, I think, or is this Kari? I can't actually tell. Actually, it's Nico Kari there making move on our teammate, so well, actually, that makes sense since Kari was the lead of the two Toro Rossos anyway. Out with Kari there manages to actually not hold around the outside line. He can pull back now into the slipstream. Into the corner, no way he's going to turn this. He's going to go side by side into the right hander here. Going to be a brilliant move. He can pull himself. Going to get the camera. Giovinazzi going to squeeze him. Keep it side by side. Going to force him there over to the inside line. But Kari now then with the inside line forces his way through. Inside line, honestly, Kari made some brilliant overtakes in this race. I mean, honestly, I didn't like that one. I mean, it was a good move. It was on my teammate, so I didn't like that one. Kari making these brilliant moves just left, right, and centre. Now they're moving a bit further on. Still looking at this battle. Just a bit further on, feel that's further on now. And we've got the Haas here actually of Stroll going slowly. He's missed a gear. Has he got some kind of issue or something? You've got yellow flags. And oh dear, there's a smoke show coming out of the back of that car. So something in the BMW engine is not very happy anymore. And there's definitely a lot of smoke there. You can see just about see through the spray. There's more smoke there than the spray there off Albon's Toro Rosso. So unfortunately for Stroll out of the Grand Prix, but I think honestly the way to look at it is always better to retire when you're not in the points than when there's not a chance of points anyway. So on to lap 24, so much further on, but nothing's really happened. We've been in the lead, but we're definitely being caught so much here by Verstappen and George Russell.
So you've got Max and George behind you, and they haven't got straight line speed, so it should be alright for us.
Well, that's easier said than done, engineer. Because one thing we're saying is if I can just park the absolute stadium through the corners, I've got the straight line speed. Or definitely on the Red Bull, we've seen it from earlier on. There's not the most amount of speed in the world in that Honda engine. But what about the Merc AMG engine that Russell's got as well? Honestly, I just have to actually park it down to the end of lap 25, start of lap 26. There are only 2 laps left to go in this race, and Verstappen and Russell, they're right here with us now. If Verstappen will be able to do anything coming down into turn 1, he'll be gaining on us in the slipstream, but coming into turn 1, he's not going to be able to do anything. I'm going to have to drive the slowest laps I've ever driven. Honestly, I might as well be in my 2014 Marussia. I'm going to be driving things that slowly. You know, Verstappen's getting a good run. He's going to go very defensive here to the inside line. I'm going to block off the Verstappen. I'm going to manage to make the corner and go very defensive here to the inside line. That's what I need to do. Just parking it on the apex. I'm going to have the widest Alfa Romeo Sauber car that there has ever been. I mean, this car is being 2 metres wide right now. That is doing me a massive favour because that's just more natural wideness to the car anyway. But I'm 5.5 seconds out. Honestly, it's going up to full wets time, honestly. It's raining that much, I can see. There's still kind of like a dry time. I'm going to once again pull over here. I'm going to cool my tyres down. I'm going to try and get some good grip, trying to get because offline, that's where the grip is. But you can see, Verstappen though, and just with the slipstream alone, he's not able to make a move on us. We've got this good straight line speed. We've got the good Ferrari power. I just need this Ferrari power to keep working for another lap. I do honestly now. I mean, Formula 1 is the fairy tale stories don't happen by chance in Formula 1. If this isn't meant to be, come on now. Once again, Verstappen trying to hide it around the outside line of the car. Once again, I'm running on the curbs. The curbs are honestly so deadly. But I've got no choice. I have to defend. Like my absolute life depends on it. Because what does depend on it is the first win for Alfa Romeo since their return. It's going to be like the first win since like 83. So it's been like 45, 46 years since the last Alfa Romeo car was in Formula 1, let alone the last race that actually won. And with how slow we're going, we're actually bringing George Russell into the fray now, and one of the Ferrari as well, I think, of Sebastian Vettel. So a four-way fight for the lead of the race coming out onto the final lap. Into the final corner though, going so slowly on the apex. So that Red Bull's going to be so good there on the traction because it's a Red Bull car. It's going to have good traction. Now looking on board there from Verstappen. He gets a good run. Goes side by side with us now. Onto the final lap now of the French Grand Prix. Going down now into that one. We've got inside line. You've got Russell following us as well. You can try and make a dive. Going squeeze Verstappen there to the outside line. You can try and keep him side by side with Verstappen. He forces him to back out of the move. And every time you force Verstappen to back out of a move, you know you've done something good there. But now let's give us a little bit of breathing space for the time being. Verstappen looking to the inside line, going for a dive possibly. Let's go defensive though from George Russell. This is exactly what I need. I need George Russell to start getting very, very interested in the back of that Red Bull Honda. And you never know, maybe even Vettel as well. Maybe even he could do something in this fight as well. Since obviously that Ferrari's going to be faster than these two cars in front of it. But now then, down the straight, this is Verstappen's last chance. He gets such a good run though. Once again, pull to the inside line. Going to defend my position all I can. I've got Verstappen. He's getting the situation, but he's not getting enough. We've got such control. Because Russell can go on the outside line. He needs to break his own. Russell can try and outbreak Verstappen out side by side still with the Dutchman. They can try and make the move their stick on the inside line. This is exactly well. This is honestly, Russell, you're my new favourite person right now. Albeit I don't really like Mercedes that much, but right now Mercedes are my favourite team and you're my favourite driver. You just give me the breathing space that I need now coming into this final sector. But this final sector is full of corners. And that's where the Red Bull excels at. Actually, Verstappen as well. He's such a rainmaster as well. Since he hasn't had many white races to prove it. We just park it once again on the apex, take away Verstappen's line. I mean, you've got like 3 corners left to go now. It's his left-hander once again, parking it right on the inside line. Going to park it on the apex as well. Going to try and slow Verstappen's momentum off of the corner. Once again, going to take a wide line in, which then gives us the inside line. Coming into the second to last corner now. I'm going to try to run out a bit wider, going defensive here, thinking about the inside line for the final corner, which he did not going into super defensive. Going to park it on the apex. Going to slow Verstappen down as much as we can. And then coming now out of the corner, power down now, up to the finish line. Going up now to the line, going to go to the side, going to go defensive again for Verstappen, going to pull side by side with us. We're coming over the line, we win the French Grand Prix. The first victory for Alfa Romeo since their return in what is still just a glorified Sauber car in round 9 of the 2019 season. Victory, absolute masterclass strategy there from Alfa Romeo.
Oh my god, what a brilliant drive. I'm very happy for you. And this is going to be an historical win. Oh my god, this is absolutely amazing. Bring on more races like this and congratulations on your first win for the team.
Taking a look at the race results, and we take the victory from George Russell, actually, by 0.3 of a second, and Sebastian Vettel gets on the podium for the first time in 3rd. Then you've got Daniel Kvyat down in P4, with Mick Schumacher in 5th, Pierre Gasly in 6th, and Verstappen, with a 5-second time penalty, down in 7th. I don't know what he got that for, but look at that, the top 8 covered by 5.5 seconds. That is how slow I was driving. You saw when I came out of the pits, I had such a good lead. With this Alpha, it is not a good car in the rain. Then we've got Hamilton in 9th place, with teammate Kobayashi in P10, Robbie Kubica in P11, and Haryanto rounds off the points for McLaren in 12th. Kari, honestly, he deserved the points finish after the race he had, with all those moves he was making, but P13 is what it is. Ahead then of our teammate Gio. We've got Norris in P15, ahead of Jean-Eric Verne, and then he actually managed to somehow beat Hulkenberg, Colton Herta and Alex Albon on the road as well, so he had a good fight back, all things considered, with Lance Stroll, as we saw, the only retirement from the race. Moving on now to the point standings, and Mick Schumacher increases his championship lead, so what was a bad result, all things considered, position-wise, actually worked out really good for him, because he increased the gap over his nearest rival Lewis Hamilton, although Kvyat gained points back, he's still not there in second place yet. He's still 30 points off the lead of Schumi. Yeah, Charles Leclerc stays in 4th and he's on 70 points, 3 points clear then of George Russell. And with our victory, we shoot right up now into P6 in the Alfa Romeo on 53 points. We're also joined with Kobayashi, but with our better result, we're in front. We also get ahead of our former teammate as well, Robbie Kubica, who's on 52. And Verstappen is in 9th place on 45. 13 points clear of teammate Pierre Gasly. And Sebastian Vettel with his first podium. Things finally go right for Sebastian Vettel. He's up now into 11th, ahead of fellow German Hulkenberg, who drops down into 12th. Norris stays where he was, as do all of the bottom half drivers, we'll say where they are, in 13th place and 17 points. 6 points clear of Vernies in 14th. Then Matsushita in P15, 2 points clear of Haryanto, with Colin Herta in 17th place, ahead of teammate Stroll, with Kari in 19th, Gio in 20th, and Alex Albon at the bottom of the standings, with 1 point in 21st. Now moving on to the constructors standings, and it's Williams who still lead, by 15 points now over Mercedes, who have a good result, because once again their consistency is keeping them in this championship fight for the constructors. They go now into second place, 15 points behind Williams, and Toyota with a really under par finish, result-wise anyway. Finish in, we saw it was in 9th and 10th, but they dropped down now into 3rd. Although they're still only 23 points off the lead, so still easily within striking range. Then you've got Ferrari in 4th with 77 points, and they're 19 points clear then of Red Bull, who are in P5. And Alfa Romeo now look to be, for the points that we're fighting for regularly, in a fairly secure already, not even halfway through the season yet, P6 on 56 points. We're 19 points ahead then of McLaren, who are on 37, in turn 2 points clear then of Renault, who are on 35. Haas remain in 9th on 12 points. Toro Rosso bringing up the rear in 10th with 7. Remember to vote for your driver of the day with a poll link that'll be in the video description, along with the wiki for this season as well, for this championship as a whole, for this season, past seasons, all the teams, all the drivers that have ever been in, so if you want to catch up on what's happened, look here for the season as well, so definitely go and check that out. Also, if you've got this game on PC as well, you can download the modded liveries I use, they'll be in the description as well. So you've got the blue Williams livery, the Merc 125 years white nose livery, the BWT livery on the Toyota, the STV Esports livery on the Alfa Romeo, and the White Bikes Haas livery. So if you want to give them a download using myself, they'll be linked down in the description. So remember to give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram, they'll be linked in the description down below. Thanks for watching, I'll see you all next time.